Hey everyone, how's it going? So this week on September 13th, I sat the CCNA 200 301 exam, and happy to say that I passed. And now just on to the next one. This video is just to sort of talk about my experiences. This was my first exam, so my first certification exam outside of uni. The experience was quite new to me, and this video is just aimed at people who are looking to sit the exam, who are preparing for the exam, sort of what to expect, and sort of just give you a bit of a heads up on things you might. Well, these are things that I faced that sort of caught me off guard, but this is just to help you out and have you as ready as possible. And so first I'll start with just if you're completely new to Cisco, if you've ever done like networking, if it's completely new to you, would you sit this exam? And would I recommend this exam? Definitely. It's a very entry-level exam, so you can pick it up from scratch. You don't have to have any sort of prior experience. And as long as you work hard. I'll get into the details of what I use to study later on in this video. And if I was new to IT, this would definitely be one of the first certs that I would get. I feel like it gives you a really good base, and then you can sort of grow onto it. So for me personally, the next step would be, I think I want to go into security, so now I'm trying to figure out which cert to sit next, if I should go for like CompTIA or Juniper. I'm not too sure yet, but I'll figure that out later on. So just talking about my experience, I sat it at a testing center, which means I had to go to a site, and it was just very exam conditions, I had to have my ID. They also checked my debit card to match the signature and the name. That's sort of, I didn't actually realize that they're going to check my debit card as well, but lucky I had it with me, so that was good. And so it was 101 questions, and it was 2 hours long. I finished with about 20 minutes remaining. And the questions that came up in the exam I felt were very balanced. Just on that topic, it also hit like in the exam they told me, as I was reading, that say that there's actually going to be about 20 questions. I'm not exactly sure how many questions are in there, but in the exam they actually say that there's going to be some questions that you're not marked on, but they're just in there for Cisco's own testing, I guess, for the exam, and seeing how people answer those questions, which was a bit of a surprise to me actually. I saw it, I was like, oh, okay, true. So some questions you're not going to get marked on, but they don't tell you which ones those questions are, so you just sort of have to answer it to the best of your ability. And that was one of the things that sort of caught me off guard. I think it's quite good that they're doing that. But it also makes it better. So if you get a better overall mark, those 20 questions or however many it was, they're not actually going to be counted if you get them wrong. So it just gives you a better chance of passing, which is really good. Overall, the questions I felt were quite fair. I felt like there was a lot of real world questions in there. So there was like, I had a lot of just real world issues. So for example, like exceeding like a certain length with a cable. There was some OSPF in there. Subnetting. There is subnetting, so you have to know how to subnet. Most of it was subnetting, I think. And I feel like if you get all the subnetting questions right, which after a while, after you've done so much subnetting that it just becomes like second nature, you can just sort of do it. I feel like if you get all the subnetting questions right, that'll give you a good chance of passing the exam. So definitely, that's one thing. Automation, I know automation for me personally was one of my weaker points, but I answered the questions to the best of my ability, and I think I did okay. I'll look at it later. But I've actually, they give you, at the end of the exam, they give you what you scored on each on each section of the exam. And yeah, automation was one of my weaker ones, but yeah, IP connectivity and the subnetting one was one of the higher ones, which was quite good. Um, yeah, honestly, when I was sitting in the exam, I was about, I don't know how many questions in, but I got to a point where I was like, damn, I don't think I've passed this A, you know, like I was like, man, it's getting kind of difficult. But that was only because of myself, you know. I feel like I didn't prepare hard enough, which is why I'm making this video, you know. Like this is to take away my experience. Yeah, but thankfully the topics that I did fully cover, which was like subnetting, VLANs, there was a bit of STP in there as well. I feel like those questions I had it pretty sorted. But for the ones that I couldn't do, I felt like I kind of started to struggle. I started to feel like I wasn't going to pass, but then in the end, somehow I actually did pass. So yeah, that could have been due to the 20 questions that they didn't mark, which is quite good. Yeah, so what did I do to prepare for this exam? I used CBT Nuggets, which is like yeah, they just have lots of like course material. They have lots of online labs that you can use to prepare for the exam. Yeah, which is quite good. I also have my own, you can't see it, but I've got my own Cisco 1941 router, and I've also got myself a what is this one? It's a 2050 switch, which actually stopped working, but yeah, that's all right. They had the online labs to do it, which is good. Yeah, hands-on is really important because having that hands-on experience, yeah, because there are questions in there where they'll show you a bunch of commands and you have to figure out which one is the most right or even or correct. You know how there is sometimes the questions where it's the most right one, so you have to be able to sort of pick those out. And a lot of it is when they show you like a scenario or they show you the configuration and you have to figure out where it went wrong. Yeah, so a lot of hands-on. I feel like if I did more hands-on stuff, I would have done a lot better. But it's okay. You know, I feel like I did enough to give me enough experience and to help me through it. Yeah, time. How long I took to prepare for this? So originally I booked it in for the start of August, but I got to a point where I just didn't feel prepared, so I kept rescheduling. So I had like on and off study. That's something that I don't recommend. I do not recommend rescheduling your exam constantly because I rescheduled mine twice. And the first month I studied hard, and then I had about 3 days left, and then I rescheduled. And yeah, when I rescheduled for like another month, and then I was like, oh, you know, it's a month away, you know, I'm not gonna prepare for this. I mean, I'm gonna prepare for it, but you know, I'll take my time with it. And then like you come to about 10 days and then you start covering some of your older coursework, and it's like you start forgetting things, and it's like, oh no, I gotta reschedule again. And then yeah, on the second reschedule I was like, okay, I gotta sort this out, and then started studying again. And then yeah, I got to like the end again, and I was like, oh well, I just gotta sit this exam now, I guess. And I guess I did work hard enough to do it. Yeah, sorry, just to add to what I used to study, I also used Jeremy's IT lab. Use it, like it's good. It's actually like so good. Like if I had known of Jeremy's IT lab before I did CBT Nuggets and paid the subscription, I would have been fine. Like CBT Nuggets is good, but like yeah, they teach you this theory, but to pass an exam, I feel like it's not enough there. Whereas Jeremy's IT lab sort of covers all of the kinds of questions that you'd be asked. Yeah, which is really good. One thing I would recommend if you watch Jeremy's IT lab is chuck on ad blocker, and then you don't get the ads. Yeah, so overall, one thing I'd recommend if I had to redo the exam is that I would put my notes online. Well, not online, but I'd do it on a computer. Originally, I had written it all out, which is good, you know. It's just that gives you that extra bit of mental strength, I guess, to remember what you've done. But yeah, I would definitely do use like OneNote just so I can type out everything, and then if I need to find something, Control F, come back and find it. Yeah, so that's one thing that I would recommend. And yeah, overall, I feel like I did pretty good. Sorry, just another thing that I wouldn't recommend is, yeah, just again, don't reschedule your exams. Make sure you have like a set calendar on what topics you're gonna do, and just set out like days that you're gonna use to prepare for stuff. Yeah, I feel like that's the best way to just feel organized, and then you just feel a lot better when you get into the exam. Also, just another thing that I used to study was just like practice exams. Don't rely on those. It's easy. It's as easy as it is to just like memorize the exams. I feel like it's not a good idea. Actually, do the practice exams. If you don't know something, learn the theory, and then go back and then do the exam again and figure out why that's right. Yeah, don't go and memorize everything. You can if you want to, but yeah, it's not really any point in doing that. But yeah, hope you enjoyed this video, and yeah, if you have any questions, just leave a comment, and yeah, I'll get back to you. Yeah, thanks for watching.